10 Bizarre Phobias. We all have a minor phobia or two, but for some people, their fears completely debilitate their lives. This list examines 10 more of the most unusual phobias that people face today. If you have any of these phobias, please let us know in the comments. Number 10. Agoraphobia, or fear of crossing the street. Agoraphobics are afraid of crossing streets, highways, and other thoroughfares, or they are afraid of thoroughfares in general. This, of course, makes living comfortably in a city extremely difficult. The term is derived from the Greek gyros, which means turning or whirling, as the phobic attempts to avoid the whirl of traffic. The phobia is divided into several categories, with sufferers fearing wide roads specifically down to suburban single-lane streets, as well as fearing jaywalking or crossing anywhere on a street, including a designated intersection. This phobia is distinct from the fear of driving. Number 9. Megarochophobia, or fear of cooking. The strange fear of cooking is known as megarochophobia, which derives from the Greek word megarokos, which means a skilled cook. If you live alone, this disorder can be debilitating and lead to unhealthy eating. People with cooking skills can make megarokos sufferers feel extremely intimidated, and this intimidation and feeling of inadequacy is likely the root cause of the disorder for many. Number 8. Pediophobia, or fear of dolls. The irrational fear of dolls is known as pediophobia. Not just frightening dolls, but all dolls. Strictly speaking, the fear is a horror of a false representation of sentient beings, so it usually includes robots and mannequins, which can make going shopping extremely difficult. This is not the same as pedophobia or pediophobia, which is the fear of children. Sigmund Freud proposed that the disorder stemmed from a fear of the doll coming to life, and roboticist Masahiro Mori expanded on that theory by claiming that the more human-like something becomes, the more repulsive its non-human aspects become. Number 7. Dinophobia, or fear of dinner conversation. Although some dinner conversations can be awkward, some people are so afraid of speaking to another person over dinner that they avoid dining situations. There were strict etiquette rules that helped people deal with these situations in the past, but they are, sadly, mostly forgotten now. In today's society, where rules and formality are thrown out the window, the more controlled nature of a dinner party could be part of the reason for this phobia. Number 6. Isoptrophobia, or fear of mirrors. Isoptrophobia is a generalized fear of mirrors, or more specifically, the fear of coming into contact with the spiritual world through a mirror. Sufferers experience excessive anxiety despite knowing their fear is irrational. Because their fear is often based on superstitions, they may fear that breaking a mirror will bring them bad luck, or that looking into a mirror will bring them into contact with a supernatural world within the glass. Number 5. Demonophobia, or fear of demons. Demonophobia is a persistent and abnormal fear of evil supernatural beings in people who believe such beings exist and roam freely to cause harm. Those who have this phobia are aware that their fear is excessive or irrational. Nonetheless, they become overly concerned when discussing demons, going alone into the woods or a dark house, or watching movies about demonic possession and exorcism. Number 4. Pantherophobia, or fear of mother-in-law. Pantherophobia is likely the most common of the phobias on this list. As previously stated, it is the fear of one's mother-in-law. I'm sure that most married people have experienced this terrifying fear at some point in their lives. This fear is so prevalent in Western society that it frequently appears in films and other forms of entertainment. Divorce appears to be the most popular of the many available treatments for this mental illness. A related phobia to pantherophobia is novicophobia, which is a fear of your stepmother, with Cinderella being the most famous sufferer. Number 3. Arachibutyrophobia, or fear of peanut butter sticking to the roof of your mouth. Finding information on this disorder is extremely difficult, which makes me wonder if it is a figment of my overactive imagination, but it is definitely bizarre and fairly well known, so it seems to deserve a place here. This disorder appears to be a fear that can be easily overcome. Don't buy peanut butter. However, one can see how forcing a child to eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches every day could cause severe trauma later in life. Number 2. Kathysophobia, or fear of sitting. Kathysophobia, also spelled with a K, is a fear of sitting. This disorder can be triggered by a particularly bad case of hemorrhoids, but in some severe cases, it can be caused by physical abuse such as sitting on sharp or painful objects. Sitting fear can be caused by a punishment in school, or it can be an indication of another phobia, such as sitting in front of elite and influential people. Sweating, heavy or short breathing, and anxiety are all symptoms of kathysophobia. Number 1. Automatonophobia, or fear of a ventriloquist's dummy. I believe we can all see the value in this disorder. The act of ventriloquism in particular seems particularly repulsive to me. It involves a man putting his hand up a doll's buttocks and talking to it. Automatonophobia does not require treatment because it is a perfectly valid reaction to a perfectly revolting concept. Please like this video and hit the subscribe button for more videos like this, or comment down below your suggestions. Thank you for watching.